Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome tonight to a special edition of the Woman to Woman show. And this is an impromptu conversation that we're having. And I'm here with my very best friends of over 40 years. They've known me before I knew myself. Like we've been friends since we were 12, 11, and 12 years old. And we've been connected ever since. And we wanted to just come on and have a discussion about friendship. One, the title of this is "What About Your Friends?" So that speaks a lot about your life and getting older and making different decisions. Every morning, we are in a group chat. We in our core. We're the core. We are the center of each other's lives. We hold each other. We keep each other accountable. We keep each other grounded. And every morning I send a scripture to my friends so that we not only stay connected to each other, but we stay connected in a godly way. Like every single morning, it is the first thing that I do in the morning. And it's so that, again, we stay connected because these are my girls. So we're on here because we are just in awe about what's going on with Wendy Williams. So I'm going to have my girls introduce themselves. Y'all know I'm Trey Kearney.
I'm Neat.
I'm Laura.
And let's talk a little bit, just real briefly, because we're waiting for another friend to come on. One of our good girlfriends is not feeling well, so she just came on, of course, out of loyalty. That's how we are, though, because out of loyalty, she's like, I'm here. I just can't turn my camera on. We like, no, you need to go rest. But one of our other good girlfriends is coming in a few minutes, and we all met. My mama was a Rolling Stone, so I moved around a lot. So I met them in each of the cities that I lived in. And then Laura, I met through my very best friend. And it's been thick as thieves ever since. So I just wanted to come on here with you guys and just say, I want to say this to y'all. One, I can't fathom where is Wendy's friends, right? Like we talk every day.
Yeah.
Like every single day. And I would never ever, let me just say this while I'm of sound mind. And if y'all want to chime in on it, just chime in at any time. But let me say this while I'm of sound mind. I would never, ever, ever, ever tell anybody that I didn't want y'all in my life. And I'm saying this in front of however many people see this recording, because like seriously, we don't know who's going to get dementia, Alzheimer's, or any kind of illness or end up in the hospital. I would never, ever tell anybody that I don't want y'all anywhere near me. So I don't know how this happens to a person, because y'all wouldn't y'all know that you bugging Trey. Y'all would you, if somebody said to you, Trey doesn't want you to come see her.
I wouldn't believe that.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe it either.
Even for a minute.
I wouldn't believe it either. And I would let whoever know that we've had conversations prior to anybody getting dementia or Alzheimer's, so that we're clear on our intentions in our friendship and what it means.
Right.
Regardless of the state that we're in physically.
Right. And both of you are married, and I love dearly and sincerely love your husbands like my own brothers. And if they said, Laura don't want you here, I'll be like, you are an Easter Bunny fool.
Lying.
Right.
Lying. Yeah.
I would know.
Yeah. Because
and our husbands know better.
Exactly. But first and foremost, he knows me better than that, and you all know me better than that. So that's the first thing that you would question, because then something's not right.
Right.
Then something's not right, because you're going to be the first to know, because we talk every day. Right. So when something is even inkling that we think something ain't right, first to know.
Right.
Y'all always first to know. So anything that's growing or developing from that, you're already way ahead, because you already know if something is brewing, my core knows first.
That's right.
My core knows first. So we go down the line, we travel down the line together. So it's never going to be a matter of 8 months that you ain't seen me and don't know what's happening. Like, that's just never going to happen.
Right. So go ahead, Neat.
I was just going to say, like, we know when we got a cold.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if something is off or we haven't heard from each other all day, even all day, if we haven't heard from each other in our group chat, we're like, hello, you okay over there? Is anything, you good?
Where you
So
at?
we're constantly checking to make sure that we're okay.
Right.
So I'm so surprised that there is nobody. It just blows my mind because it's 5 of us, right? So I guess we're in good standing or in a good place because maybe some people don't have friends.
Right.
But I can't imagine that because y'all have been a constant in my life for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't imagine like that there's nobody that was one person that was close to Wendy that we would not be sitting here questioning like who's real, who's fake, who's who's doing this for money. I can't understand why there's not one person that was
say
in
something
that could just be with her, like next to her, and we've all gone through things.
Right.
And one of us was there with the one that was going through it.
Absolutely.
Right? Because I've been through, and people don't understand the devastation. Wendy Williams is dying of a broken heart. I truly believe on everything.
I agree.
Yeah.
Her husband really, she had a mental, psychotic, nervous breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
And she never bounced back from that. And people want to say karma and all this other stuff, but looking at her on that documentary, this has nothing to do with karma.
No.
Nothing.
And I only seen little clips of it and no.
Right. People saying that are savage to say this is karma. Like who says that about a person who is suffering? Like I'm so confused. Hey, come on in. Say something so we can see if we can hear you.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey, Gaby. Laura,
so we were just talking about how close we are as a core and that we talk to each other every day. And it's hard for us to believe that there's not one friend that Wendy has. And that, if somebody told you Trey don't want you around her, what would you say?
I'd be like, you lying.
Straight up lying. Like, ain't no way.
Because we hang out. We have fun. You lying.
And she would never say that. Like, this is my girl. So I'm not understanding why there's not one person in her life. Because even if the bank said that you can't go around her, nobody would be able to tell me I couldn't come around y'all. Nobody. They would have to put a restraining order against me.
Right.
And especially if I knew that there was something mental going on, or your husband would have to get a restraining order against me if he tried to keep me from your house. I would be like, I'm coming in right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm coming in hot. Yeah.
Right. So this is
sorry. I said I'm eating because I had lunch at 12:30 and I just got home. I got some collard greens.
Not collard greens. How you
getting collard greens on camera? All she eats is collard greens. Oh, and then on the so me and Gaby been talking about this a little. Kim, I'm sorry. me and Kim been talking about this for a few days. About making sure, because most people are listening to this, and if you just tuned in, we're just talking about what about your friends and this whole Wendy Williams thing. But most people just are listening for gossip and entertainment, and not everything's a teachable moment for me in my life right now at almost 55 years old. So for me, I'm looking like, what can I learn from this? And one thing I was talking to Gaby about was we all need to have some paperwork in place that says, in my sound mind right now, if anything happens to me where I am not mentally stable to make decisions for myself, this is who I would like to make decisions for me. Because I can't believe that this could happen because there's no paperwork in place that says her son, right? He'd be like, like would be an automatic for me to think that her son.
Is she divorced? Is that divorce penal?
Yes.
Yeah, her son should have power of attorney.
He's next to Ken, so I'm thinking that he should be the one that's in control of.
But somehow granted a guardianship to someone who's not even a part of the family.
But how does that happen? Like, this is why we're having this conversation.
I don't know. And that you know what? You should actually do a live one day with a trust wills and a state trust and wills attorney, so we could educate people.
Yes.
Right. Because you would
That's a
think
good idea.
naturally, right? That y'all would think naturally, well, Laura and Anit are married, so we know naturally the husband.
Yeah.
But we think naturally the husband is the one that gets, because we thought naturally the son was the next.
Well, it's different.
Okay.
It's different when you're married versus your adult children.
Right.
If, God forbid, Laura or Neat were in a car accident and were unconscious, and they needed a blood transfusion or some kind of emergency surgery, Buddy or D would absolutely be able to make decisions with or without paperwork.
Right.
But the children could be a little questionable.
That's what I don't understand. Like right now we're single, right? Right now we're single, but we have sons.
Right.
And so if anything happened to us today, like why wouldn't they call our sons to say, you have to come to the hospital for your mother and you have to make these decisions for her? Like this is what's happening to Wendy and her son, and I don't understand. So
yeah, I don't understand how someone else got legal control.
Well, according to the
I didn't watch the movie.
The bank, in this case Wells Fargo, they thought they saw some sort of activity that they were concerned about. So they took it upon themselves to freeze her account, notify the government or the courts or something, filed something, and the court went ahead and issued a guardianship to an external party.
I still don't understand that.
Probably because if the bank thought, and I'm just speculating, but if the bank thought that there was some suspicious activity, they may suspect her son, because usually it's your closest relative that does something like that.
Access to your account.
What happened?
These are people who work
of her. That's basically what happened.
These are people who work at this bank and see this all day, every day. Do you know how many times somebody's sister, brother, son, daughter, husband has emptied his bank account? So they're going to try to find some neutral person outside. And in this case, that was the wrong decision, but they don't know that.
Yeah, but that's basically what happened. So that's why he doesn't have access or an ability to make a decision.
Unless they have records showing that he's the one that's taking all the money out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's horrific.
They could tell who's withdrawing money from the account.
But the thing he did was based on what she asked him to do.
Right. And people were saying, this is what killed me too. People were saying it was a lot. It was flagged because it was $100,000 spent on Uber Eats in a year. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not a lot of money on Uber Eats, though. That's not a lot of money if he was buying food for him and his mother 3 times a day, because they're not cooking for themselves.
Right.
Bryce probably spent $50,000 last year on Uber. Like literally. Like I'm not even lying. And I didn't know how much it cost because I'd never used it. And then when I used it, remember, Gaby, I called you and I told you I was going to get a sandwich from Jersey Mike's. And a $8, $12 sandwich, they were trying to charge me $25.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's for one sandwich. So the lifestyle that Wendy and her son is living, they're constantly using Uber Eats, right? And they're not using Uber Eats like we use it for Jersey Mike's.
They're probably not eating Jersey Mike's.
They eating sushi and high-end steaks, and all of this is being delivered. Just say if they were getting Starbucks every morning for a year. Let's add that up from Uber Eats.
Mm-hmm.
That alone, and then they having lunch, and then they having dinner because they're not cooking. They're used to a certain lifestyle, and then on top of that, they have drivers. Like they not driving nowhere. They either jumping in Ubers every day.
So they feeding everybody, the staff, whoever's in the house.
So this is why I'm not understanding why they're acting like people, and I'm not saying poor people, but people who don't live a certain lifestyle, like $100,000 on Uber Eats, 3 meals a day for a year. That probably was cheap considering what they were eating
for 2 people.
Yeah, for two people, and not even two people. But remember, she has her PR there. Remember, she has her assistant. So he might have been ordering food for 6 people.
Right.
And it's crazy that they're thinking that that's weird that this amount of money. And then they were saying about his birthday party. I think they said it was $100,000 for his birthday party. That's not weird in that world.
Right.
No.
Let's look at Diddy. How much money did he spend on a birthday party? Let's look at even Ciara and her husband and the Kardashians when they doing these little kid birthday parties.
Yeah.
How much money are they spending on those parties?
Yep.
I look at Jade, my niece. Girl, is you crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's right. And Andrea, thank you so much, Andrea Morrow, for joining us. She said happens event day. And she said that part because we're looking at people that live a certain lifestyle. So Wendy, and we all know Wendy was extravagant. And we all know Wendy spoiled her son.
Right.
Yeah.
So why is he being penalized? And on the documentary, I don't know if y'all watched this part, he said, I never took any money that my mother didn't okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So he wasn't taking nothing.
Right. And he's being penalized. And then the family can't see him. And I just wanted to come on here for us today to say in public, for all of us to say in public that, and y'all can agree with me and say it for yourself, but I would never, ever not want y'all in my life.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Never.
Ever.
That's
Ever.
never.
And if I had any type of mental dysfunction, dementia, Alzheimer's, and I was being mean to y'all, I would expect y'all to still have my back and be around me and advocate for me and fight for me and fight to be in my life. I wouldn't expect y'all to just walk away and say, oh, we can't be around Trey.
Yeah, no, that's
that's
I don't feel that way about any one of us. You know, I just don't feel that way. Like y'all are my sisters. So for me, it's more than a friendship. It's a sisterhood that we've developed and cultivated over the last 40 years. So even outside of friendship, y'all just my sisters. So like any other sibling, I would be there no matter what happens to either one of us. I'll do my best to support however I can.
Absolutely.
Nothing would stop that, no matter what condition you're in, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what, nothing would stop me from loving y'all the same way I do today.
Yep.
Nothing would stop me from getting to y'all.
Right.
Can't nobody tell me I can't see one of y'all.
Ain't no mountain high enough.
I got to dress up in the doctor's coat and put a wig on. I'm getting up in there.
So I'm just thinking, like, when I'm seeing this and I'm looking at her family and they're like, we can't see her. And I'm just saying,
yes, get a lawyer and go to court. What? I'm not
understanding.
Right. This breakdown had to happen long before what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there had to be some disconnect that they would just fall back and let a stranger.
Right.
And
well, I think part of what they're saying is that they ended up not even knowing where she went because she like disappeared.
Right.
And whoever this guardian is and whatever they're doing, they pretty much put her somewhere so that nobody could contact her. So it was not something that they could control in order to try and fight.
How does that happen?
Exactly.
How does that? I'm not gonna know where y'all are.
Exactly.
But like, why didn't they go to court and say, listen, this person was appointed to be her guardian. They took her. We can't find her. Like, somebody tell me something.
Yeah.
Something like I would be.
I mean, her father is still alive. Her father is still alive. Her son is there. Her siblings are still alive.
This is what I'm saying. Like,
I would be fighting tooth and nail. Like, you're not just going to take my family.
Nah.
Right. And you are her guardian over her money, not over her life.
Right.
If the bank wanted somebody to protect her money, then you just let this person.
Hiding her.
She get ready to sign a check. This person says, you can't take that amount of money out. Let me find out where this money is going. Not you take her and hide her
Mhm.
Right.
or you take her somewhere and doing God knows what. Like,
Right.
you
Yep.
know, we don't know.
Right.
It's easy to
Who
slip
knows
somebody,
how she's being cared for?
right?
Mhm.
Or being drugged, or we
Mhm.
don't know, because looking at her, this is, again, I'm telling y'all on today that nobody will keep me away from y'all. Guardianship, I don't care who it is. Like, yeah, if you think I'm stealing money from her, cool. Don't, then just freeze the bank account. But what you're not gonna do is keep me away from my sister. If it was my sister,
Right.
you're not gonna keep me away from my girls. We talk I know that this is not what they want. And I'm just saying, was she already estranged
Right.
Right.
from all of these
'Cause she-
people?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of questions that are
Right.
not being answered by this documentary. And
No,
not even any of our business.
right. And then on top
Put
of
it
that,
out there, put all of it out there.
cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's another thing.
Like,
Y'all
like
better not
who
never let
authorized
anybody
this?
exploit.
Even if she say, yeah, y'all let her go through with this, because I would never put my family in that kind of a vulnerable position, because she's extremely vulnerable right now.
Right.
I would never put her in that position to exploit her in that manner. You know,
And I'm
somebody
telling
I read,
you, she is
I saw
being
something-
exploited. If you see this documentary, she is being exploited
Mhm.
unbelievably, and it's so sad to see.
And it's
I
crazy
saw
that
something
they
today
would,
that some. I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Trey. I
Go
saw
ahead,
something
Nate.
today that somebody was saying how she did this because it was really a cry for help for her, like how she started the documentary.
Mm.
But then it turned into, because now it's been 2 years in the making. I guess they started this 2 years ago. So
Right.
as things went on, she was getting progressively worse in the state, and they just should have, I think, just pulled it.
Yes.
Pulled it and not.
Yep.
But that's what I'm saying. As far as we're concerned, as a core, as good friends, if y'all are so concerned about guardianship over her money, right? Why are y'all not concerned about guardianship over her being exploited and these things happening? If she can't make decisions for herself about her money, and y'all put somebody over her, why would y'all even let her make a decision? Why would this even, like I said to Laura before we started, why was this even presented to her? Somebody had to come to her, like her manager, her PR,
Right.
whoever, and say, hey, Lifetime wants to do a documentary on you. If you already knew her mind wasn't right, you should have never presented this to her, because you already knew she was having moments in and out, and that she's headstrong.
Yep.
So I'm
Yep.
like, and Andrea said everyone does not have the support system. Everyone is not. I understand that, Andrea, but I'm saying, as far as, Andrea, do you have friends? Like, who doesn't have one best friend? Like a best friend that has your best interest at heart. I know I'm blessed to have 4. But who doesn't have one person that they talk to on a regular basis, that they cool with, that knows everything, that would never let something like this happen? I don't understand that. And then her allowing her to drink liquor.
Mm-hmm.
This is a catastrophe. And why is it happening?
Right.
So that's why I wanted us to talk tonight, so that we would know that we always have each other's back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always.
Forever and a day.
Always.
Yep.
At least one of y'all better be like, no, you not. Trey would not want this. Trey would not want to be seen without her wig, because Wendy never would be seen without her wig. Y'all would be like, Trey,
or just put together, period.
Right.
Yeah.
We make a little makeup on something.
Keeps showing her feet. She keeps, like, why? I don't understand that. Like, she keeps taking her shoes off and showing her feet. She has lymphedema on both her, like, really bad.
Wow.
And to display it like that, I don't. That's just not her. She was always so proud of the way she looked and the way she dressed, and if that's part of her life, that's part of her life. But she's trying to get back into television again, and that's not, like, folks are not telling her the truth. You have to understand that that's not the road for you now. So let's
I was like, that's not happening.
No, let's work on getting you better. And that's what she's missing. That she has the yes people. She has the people that are trying to feed her yes, yes, yes. And her son said, so long as she continues to surround herself by yes people, she's never going to get better.
No, because they're just going to
Never.
tell her what she wants to hear, not what she needs to hear.
And that's exactly what's happening.
Exactly.
And they're
I'll
not
go with whatever she says.
right, and they're not addressing the real problem at hand. And I'm not saying that she doesn't have the conditions that she has, but this is a mental condition brought on by her husband's betrayal. And nobody's
Absolutely.
working on the fact of let's get her better from that. We need to sit down and
Yes.
talk to her and say, hey, we know he broke your heart. We know, and we're going to get you the help that you need for that, because stress, drama, and trauma advances disease in your body faster. It just makes the disease right.
And she was already compromised because of all those years of drugs and drinking.
Yes.
Her body was already not totally healthy to begin with.
Yep.
Right.
And then she got Graves' disease or something, and that, I think that's really when she started to decline.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because she probably was still using.
Right. And then you think about, imagine going through what she's going through in private, right?
Right.
That's stressful and hurtful and all those things. But now put the camera in front of it.
Right.
She's a public figure, and now the entire world knows her business.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Not only is she hurt and heartbroken and all that from what happened, but her whole public image, she lost her career. Like, this is her whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a lot to shoulder.
It's a lot.
She did the show last night. The well, I don't want to call it the show, but the episode started last night that we stumbled upon, and she said, "My name is Wendy Hunter, not Williams. Wendy Williams is gone. My name is Wendy Hunter." And I was like, "Why does she keep saying that?" Because that was her husband's name. That was her married name,
right? And which is ironic because for her entire professional career, she was Wendy Williams.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Because she is suffering from a broken heart. There's a part of the document, or the whatever they're called, the 2-part series, where she's talking to her brother and she thinks it's Kevin, her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's like, "Oh, Kevin, I'm so glad you're here." And they're showing this, and the brother's looking at, he's going along with it, like, "I know, I'm here, I'm glad." And I'm like, do y'all not understand that this woman is totally delusional and thinks that she's still talking to her husband because y'all did not address the problem at hand, which is the divorce from the person that she still loves and still wants to be with, that she cannot disconnect. She is, and I talk about this because y'all know this is my life. A breakup is a death of a relationship. And when people lose a relationship, they go through the grieving stages as if somebody has died. And the thing with my clients, when we go through coaching through my program, the recovery room, the only way for the person to heal who's working through the recovery room is for us to figure out what stage of grief they're stuck in. Right? And then we work past that. So if it's anger, because women, you busting the window out of people's cars for months and years, spray painting, because you're stuck in the stage of grief of anger. Wendy is stuck in denial.
Mm-hmm.
She's stuck in denial and depression. And the hard part for a lot of my clients is they were stuck in 2 stages of grief. It's only worse by how many stages of grief you're stuck in, because then you got to process through them. And the final stage of grief is acceptance, accepting the fact that it's over. She's so far from accepting the fact that it's over because she's stuck in denial, which sends her into a delusional, psychotic state of mind.
But now that she has dementia, the frontal lobe dementia, ain't no unsticking.
Right.
I think about my grandmother and the stuff that she talks about. Like, it's not either it's happened years ago or it's not happening at all. So, and it's nothing that we can do to bring her out of, to convince her that that's not reality. Right. So I don't even know that at this point, at this stage where she is, that she's even comprehending that.
Right. No, it's like, over. And again, these things have to be dealt with before they go too far.
That's right. And she never dealt with it.
Right. All this should have been dealt with as it was happening.
Right.
Yes.
Like when that breakup happened.
Right. Yeah, as soon as she found out, that's when all of this should have been dealt with.
Yes. During this whole journey, she should have been having therapy, coaching, support systems, tools, tactics, and things to do.
And I don't think any of that really happened for her.
I don't think so either. And that's
She
why
just kept herself around the people that would yes her, you know,
Right.
to death, and not tell her what she really needed to do for herself.
Yeah, because I mean, not only did he have an extramarital affair, he had a child.
Right.
Came and told her, yeah, she's pregnant, and she was just like, bye. But that was her I think pain that was saying that, and not going through what she needed to heal, or even to deal with what just happened.
Right.
She
Right.
didn't deal.
They did not deal with it in a timely manner, and still to this day they're not dealing with it.
No.
Right. And that's just, you know, people, and again, I went through a traumatic breakup, and you were probably the closest one to me when I was going through that. And it was a lot of times when the only thing that saved me was the fact that I had my baby. I had Jermaine. He was a baby. I had to get up. I had to function. I had to feed him. I had to pull myself together. I would cry on the phone with Nee. She was like, "You all right?" Like, I had to get, you know, go through therapy. I had to get a coach. I had to get the help that I needed, because at one point I thought I was losing my mind based on the fact of how I got into the situation. And y'all all know my story of committing adultery. That was traumatic enough. And then for the person that I did it with to cheat on me in front of everybody was a whole nother level of stress that everybody knew, and you know, people pointing and talking.
Embarrassing.
Yes.
And you feel like, I did all of this for you, and now it's not going to work. How am I going to face people?
Right.
Yeah.
And I stayed way longer trying to prove
that it's going to work out,
while I was suffering in a toxic relationship with a newborn while he was with another woman. It was just a lot of craziness, and to God be the glory. I had the right people around me to pull me out and be like, "Listen, what do you need?" Right. Many nights I talked to Nee because I didn't know what else to do. And I thank God, you know, I had people around me who were honest to tell me, like, "Listen, this is what's going on. You're going to be all right. What do you need? Let's work through this." But it was addressed. Nothing was hidden. It wasn't like, we're going to act like this is not happening to Trey. No, I needed help.
Yeah.
I was literally dying on the inside. Look at Stella. I was literally dying on the inside from a broken heart.
Look, say hi.
Hey, Stella.
Hey, Stella, you fighting Lulu today?
Stella wants
every day.
So that's the part that we have to really deal with. That I was literally dying of a broken heart.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You had to work through that so you could begin to heal and put the pieces back together. You couldn't even start. Hey, Lulu.
I will not.
Lulu, the OG.
Yeah, I had to really pick up the pieces because I really thought that I was dying. I really thought I was gonna die, like literally.
And you physically feel like that when you know what I'm saying. You are physically ill, just trying to get your life together.
And mentally, once your mental is gone, and again, there's no coming back when your mental is gone, when you're just mentally exhausted. So, and I'm on here today to let y'all know in front of whoever's watching that I would never, ever not want y'all in my life. I would never want y'all to not advocate for me. I would never, even if I was going through it, like your grandmother, like you said, sometimes she's mean. And still y'all are like, okay, you know, we
still loving.
Right.
That's part of
it's part of the disease. So we understand that.
It's not.
But we don't let nobody else take advantage of her in that state either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's people that come in and can convince her to anything.
Right.
And she would do it. Had she had access to her money or bank account or whatever, it would be easy for somebody to siphon stuff away from her.
Right. And you know, people are mean.
Yes.
Mhm.
People are mean.
Have-
Like,
the amount of money that she had access to, it's very easy for her to be convinced, I'm going to take care of you. I have your best interest at heart.
Mhm.
Not your intention at all.
Mhm.
When these
Mhm.
outsiders are coming in because they're court appointed, do they really care about her?
no.
Right.
Exactly. So
They just care about the bottom line, which is her
it
finances.
right. And
If
it's sad.
something happened to her anyway, what's she gonna be able to, you know what I'm saying? She can't
Right.
do anything with it. Not that it's not hers, but you at least let her son be involved in
Right.
whatever her care and her, you know, her state is.
But if this documentary is a cry for help from her family, because that's primarily who's on here,
I think it is.
Yeah.
I hope, pray that it's serving what they're trying to accomplish, because it really is painting a picture how sad her situation is right now.
And I
Mhm.
think this is why they wanted to do it.
Get his own lawyer.
Right. But he don't have
Yes.
money.
You don't have money without her.
Mm-mm.
He don't have money. He's
There's got to be a lawyer out there that will do this for him.
I'm sure
has
there
to-
probably is.
It has to be. This
He
is a
needs to
really
ask.
sad situation.
needs
Just
to
like, you know,
probably
everybody,
ask.
just like everybody fought for Britney Spears, you know,
Yeah.
even though Britney need to be
Britney still Britney and
Britney, yeah, I'm sorry they fought for her, because I'm just like, yo, no wonder her dad. But it was her dad. That's the difference here.
Yes.
It was her father who I believe had her best interest at heart. Now seeing her on social media dancing with knives and all in her panties and just doing weird craziness. Like if it was Wendy's family, I hope this does help to where they do have power over her to manage her finances and to manage her.
Yeah.
Right.
Not to
Mhm.
take advantage of her. And they were saying Britney's dad, I don't know, taking advantage and giving her money or whatever. I'm not saying that we want Wendy to be free to roam and have access to her money, but we want somebody that's taking care of her, that loves her, because this is out of control.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
is really out of control, and it's a sad situation that, for me, like I said, I wanted to come on here and talk to y'all. And again, the title of this is "What About Your Friends?" Because I don't see any of us allowing this to happen to the other one, because we're in contact with each other every single day, 3, 4, 5 times a day.
Mhm.
So was she already estranged from them?
Right.
Because if she wasn't, they wouldn't just let, and again, where's her best friend?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, where are her friends, period? You know, have they been pushed away over the years? Or you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, is she at the point now where she doesn't have anybody because of the abuse of the alcohol and the drugs? You know how somebody,
Or
one
did
of your
her
friends
husband
is using a
isolate her?
crackhead.
Right.
Huh?
Was she isolated by her husband, so it was just her and him? And then when
Right.
And that probably happened prior to, yeah. You
Mm-hmm.
know
Well,
how that
usually-
goes. It's a trickle. Mhm.
right.
That's
So
how
I believe that happened too.
abusers do that. And it's a slow.
The isolation is the first part, because
Right.
that's what they got to do.
Yep.
Mhm. They
Yeah.
isolate you first.
Right.
You know,
Then they take
it just happens over time, and then you don't reach out to anybody. So that could have been the situation too, or part of what she's going through or dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
is that
'Cause I
everybody
can't
has just been
believe
pushed
that-
out.
Right. I can't believe that she didn't have homegirls that was in her
She might
circle.
have, but like Neat said, with all the drug and alcohol abuse, she may have driven them away well before this happened.
I didn't drive y'all away.
No. You weren't abusing like she was abusing.
Yeah,
Trust
it's
me
a
when I
whole.
tell you there is a difference. Trust me. Unless
I'm not saying I was out there like her, but I'm just saying, even on my worst moments, and I was doing some stuff, and y'all was
it
there.
wasn't,
Just
It
glad
wasn't
we
that stuff.
iPhones.
Huh?
I'm glad we didn't have iPhones back then.
Right. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Yeah, because I'm not saying I was.
you weren't stealing from us and doing that kind of stuff and selling our stuff to get you drugs and going out there selling your body. Like, it wasn't to that. Wendy was doing all of that. I don't want like that in my life.
But Wendy cleaned up. Wendy
Yeah,
got
but that's probably when she had those friends. But
right.
If they say that she's been abusing again,
when that kind of damage is done, sometimes there is no going back.
But I believe she's had a good circle of friends even after she cleaned up. But it looks like to me over the last maybe 8 years or so that she's been abusing again. And those circle of friends that you've had and you know what I'm saying? Now you're abusing, you know how that goes. It just gets heavier and heavier and people can't convince you to not get high or not use or not, you know, it's sad to watch. Sometimes you have to walk away. Like I've had to walk away from a good friend because they just would not change. And what do? You know, I still love that person, but I had to remove myself. So sometimes you have to remove yourself from it when you can't convince somebody to get the help that they need. It's detrimental to the friend too, you know? So maybe those friends backed up and maybe they just took a season of separation, hoping that she would get herself together. But now this is happening. They're not even allowed back in to say, we here, we support you. We just waiting. You know what I'm saying? So people can change. But if she's using it at the level that I saw the report, you know what I'm saying, then you're not nice to your friends. You acting a fool when you don't have it. You're, you know, that drives people away that are trying to help you and love on you. You know, we know with family members who, you know, can't get it together. We have to step away from them and kind of let, you know, as we say, hit rock bottom. Yeah. Before they see that there is a way out and up and the support is here, but we can't help you kill yourself.
Yeah, the way she talked.
Any of those friends were friends that she hurt before because of her drug and alcohol use and went through the whole rehabilitation and went through the whole apologizing and reestablishing a friendship, and now you're trying to take me down this road again? I'm out. No, I'm out.
What were you saying, Laura?
You're not going to ruin my life too.
I was saying the way that she's talking to people right now, it's, you know, you have to be able to love her through it, because when you have that type of disease, you know, especially dealing with people that have dementia, they don't really understand the way they talk to you. So she's being like, you know, to tell somebody you stupid, somebody that you don't even know, you know, it can take you to a whole nother level.
Right.
It's definitely a time when she needs people around her that love her and to understand that she's in a different space right now. And these people are not that.
Right. No, clearly they're not. So I'm just really like praying for her. And I've been like, I've really been praying for Wendy for the last 6 years, like, because I feel her pain of the betrayal. And I knew she had a nervous breakdown back then with her husband. I saw it happening. And again, because this is what I do for a living. Like I coach people through the devastation of infidelity. So I saw the progression of her just being in denial and her starting to isolate and seeing these different things. And I'm like, and they started immediately saying it was her Graves' disease. And I'm like, no, y'all missing a whole part of it. She does have those diseases. And again, I'm not a medical doctor. And I truly believe that she has those things. Again, because I have Graves' disease, right? I take my thyroid every single day. And I know when I'm stressed out, how my body reacts. So I have to separate myself from stress. And I have to get, coaching if I need it, or I have to call Gaby on, girl, I'm about to, this boy in here, or I got to call one of y'all, be like, Neat. So I understand the illness, but she's stuck in denial, and we're literally watching Wendy die of a broken heart, like right in front of our faces. And all of these people talking about karma and she this and she are all going to be
her broken heart and her denial. All of that is exacerbating her physical illnesses.
Yes,
there's so many things going on with her right now.
Yes,
and a lot of her
it's not just a dementia,
right? All those physical illnesses may have happened anyway, But the fact that her body was riddled with drugs and alcohol just made it worse.
Right.
And then the stress on top of that.
Right. The stress triggered her to go back to self-medicating.
Yes.
Because
That's what she knows how to do.
Right, because them diagnosing her for her thyroid and we're taking care of the Graves' disease and we're doing this. She had to self-medicate from the mental pain and hurt of the betrayal. And that's where she was getting the drugs and alcohol so she could sleep at night. I'm sure each and every one of us, well, most of us here have been through a horrible relationship where you just couldn't sleep at night. Where you were just up with your mind just playing crazy tricks on you.
Oh, that happens when you're married too.
Oh, right.
Yeah, talk about that.
Hello.
Marriage don't stop that. You go to piss the hell off sometimes, you know, and you got to go through it and you got to get through it. But I think the difference is that you have an ability and an opportunity to communicate about it.
Right.
Yes, and you make a choice to work through it. It's a choice to, you know, could easily just be mad and walk away, but it's a choice to get through that moment. Just like it is with any, you know, any other relationship or friendship. It's a choice. You make a choice to forgive.
And we all have to, just the mind is so fragile. Even, you know, when we talk about a person who loses a child and they lose their mind and they never come back. You understand what I'm saying? Or a person who loses their mom or dad and that was their everything and they never come back. Grief is a real thing. And if it's not dealt with the right way, and again, all of them treating her for this disease and that disease and this disease, when she was literally dying of broken heart syndrome, like she literally is dying of a broken heart and
still grieving the loss of her marriage and her family.
Right. Like she's still
that's real.
Yes. People
the
are
life she knew.
that.
Because this is not the life she had envisioned for herself.
Right.
This is not the life she planned. And once she got married and she finally had the baby, because she had so much trouble even carrying a baby.
Right.
When she finally had him, I got my husband, my career's taken off, I got my son, and then boom, I
got myself together. I cleaned up.
Right. And then the rug is pulled from under her.
And honestly, I believe that she's been going through it with him for the whole marriage. It's just that now here's a whole baby out of it. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Because I don't believe that this just happened out the blue. I believe she's been going through this throughout their whole marriage. You could see signs that it was not hunky-dory. And I think that this is why he was so comfortable with stepping out, because it always worked out, always took him back. And now you got a baby. How's she gonna get through this one? So that probably was the straw for her that really did her in mentally. Like, I done took you back, I done forgave you, and you gonna go have a baby with somebody?
Right, like, I can't hide that.
So like,
can't hide that.
I said earlier, like when you and Laura were talking about how you can go to bed pissed off, like you're having issues in your marriage and y'all choose to stay. You choose to work through them because y'all still love each other and you still have respect for each other. Just pissed off at each other right now. But when you're in Wendy Williams' position and she is willing to forgive and take him back and he doesn't want to,
right,
that's the hurt part.
He's rejecting her.
Right.
Yeah. That's
I carried you.
Because
and she's carried him throughout the whole marriage financially and everything else. So now you're gonna reject me. So I'm sure,
right?
You know,
and
the
again,
pain is
everything was in the media, all pictures of him and the girlfriend, and all the media. So when you're famous,
all that on display.
The dirt is going to be out there.
Yeah, and again, a breakup is the death of a relationship, right? And it's just like going through a death of losing my brother or losing my mother. Absolutely. The hard part, like Gaby said, is at some point I know that my mother and my brother are not coming back. So I have to accept the fact that no matter what I do, they're not coming back. The death of a breakup is somebody denying access to you, and they're still walking the earth, and you see them on with their life, with somebody else, with the white picket fence, with the baby, with the car, and you're still emotionally attached to them because you still love that person, and you can't turn that love off. As much as you want to hate the person, if you love a person, you love a person.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because
And
human emotion is very complicated, and it's not, like you said, you can't just turn it off.
Mm-mm.
You can't just stop loving somebody because they did something wrong to you. Because she really was in it for until death do us part.
Yes.
He decided to walk away, because had he not decided to walk away, even with that baby,
She was still staying with him.
She would have been
He
there.
married her for opportunity.
Right.
He married her because he wanted to be her husband. He
Mhm.
married her, but he saw an opportunity.
Right.
And that's the way it's been, you know, just from my point of view of watching over the years. It's just it was an opportunity. He knew he was going to have a come up.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's the way he's treated her throughout their whole relationship. It was always one-sided.
I just,
She
again,
wanted the whole package, and
she didn't get it. And again,
so that speaks to just us loving ourselves as women.
yes,
You know, not accepting, because it really just trickles down to our own self-esteem and what we allow. You know, I was in an abusive marriage, my first marriage, because I didn't have self-esteem. I didn't know how to love myself. I thought that what I was going through was love. You know, it took for me to work on that and learn to love me, so that way I could be loved by somebody else in a healthy way.
Right.
So I don't think she ever loved herself or knew, because, you know, she always was self-conscious just about herself,
her weight,
appearance, and everything else. So when you don't have that you're going to unfortunately run into all types of bad relationships, friendships you accept because you just want to be accepted.
and
And I
love.
think
Right.
that's really the whole situation, is that she's always just wanted to be accepted.
Right.
And loved. Right.
and so many people, and this is something else that maybe you should have a clinician on. But so many people correlate abuse with hitting.
Right.
There are so many different forms of abuse. There's financial abuse, emotional,
Absolutely.
verbal, mental, and all of that happens before the physical starts.
Right. If the physical ever starts, and a lot of
Some people never physically abuse, they just emotionally abuse and financially abuse. They'll never put their hands on you, but you won't get anything.
And a lot of women are in denial that they're in abusive relationships because the person, and men, because men get abused too.
Also,
a lot of people are in relationships where they don't equate it to abuse because there's no physical, nobody's putting their hands on you, but you are being mentally, and I say this all the time with my hashtag no side chicken movement, for other women to know cheating is a form of abuse. And if you are knowingly sleeping with somebody's husband, boyfriend, or fiance, you're an abuser. And if children are involved, you're a child abuser. That woman that was sleeping with Wendy's husband is just as guilty for this breakdown that Wendy had as her husband is, because she knew about Wendy. So whether she knew your name or whatever, you abused her mentally, because when she was supposed to be with her husband and he was supposed to be when he was supposed to be with his wife, and he was supposed to be at his son's basketball, football games, and they were being neglected because he was with you. You're just as responsible, because you knew and you made a conscious decision as a grown woman to sleep with somebody's husband. So cheating is a form of abuse from both people. And I say that too, because I was in that situation. So I'm never judging anybody, because I was in that situation myself, and I saw the pain that I caused to my ex-husband and to his ex-wife. I saw the mental abuse that they endured at my hands too. It wasn't just him. It was both of us that was abusing them mentally and emotionally, because they knew that we were doing something behind their back, and they had to go to sleep. And they were, I don't want this to happen. And what is everybody going to think? That's just emotional abuse. And we all have to be accountable for it as men and women. If you're somebody's mistress, you just as bad as the husband that's cheating on the wife. And if you're somebody's side dude, you're just as bad as the wife that's cheating on the husband, because you're emotionally abusing somebody, whether they know it's you, your name, your face, or not. You're still an abusive person.
That's right.
And people don't want to admit that, like, oh, he's the one that's responsible. He's the one that's married. No, you're the one who knows that this woman, that's that woman's husband.
Yeah, because you know what it's doing to her and you don't care.
Right. And that's crazy that you don't care. Hello. So thank you guys so much. Thank y'all. Like anybody that's tuned in right now, these are my core that I'm always talking about. And it's one of our girls is not feeling well tonight. She popped in for a second, but she really didn't sound good. So, but these are my girls right here. Like when I talk about my friends, when I talk about I don't have to settle and I don't have to be a yes man and I don't have to beg and I don't have to do those things in my life because I have them. So when other people come into my life, business women, I'm not beat and pressed for friends. I'm not lonely. And all of us, we've done work on ourselves. We're whole, healed, and happy. We're not void fillers to each other, which is a great thing. And we're not latched onto each other because there's pieces of us missing. And like Neat said, we need to be whole, healed, and happy so that we have self-esteem, so that we don't let the wrong element of people in our life because we don't want to be alone. And I thank God for y'all, like every day. Like
I thank God for y'all every day. Don't start. If Gee be doing that, you know it's emotional.
Yes, yeah, that's our Marine. Yes, like I truly am blessed when I think about Wendy Williams, and I say to myself, and this is why I did this today, because I was sitting in the kitchen and I was like, what about her friends? Like, I know my girls will be right next to me right now. All four of them, not one of them, not two of them, all four of them would be like, hold up, bank. You're not taking our money, because Gebe would be like, no, this is the lawyer that we need. Okay.
You're going to be in fatigue standing at the door blocking people from coming in.
We're going to be, yep, we're going to be tag teaming. All right, your shift up next.
Your shift is up next. And I would
just
expect that for any one of us.
Yep. Yeah, and I just said to myself today, I'm so blessed to say that I have 4 friends for over 40 years. And I have to say that for each of us, that speaks volumes about the content of our character.
Yes.
That we would want to be in each other's lives, right? Because it's a privilege to be in your life, as it's a privilege to be in mine. Absolutely. So it says a lot about who we are, that we can maintain 4 different strong relationships, that we would not let anything like this happen to each other. And I see now that that's rare.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It really is.
Right.
So I'm thinking this is normal. Like everybody got a core 4.
No. No.
But I'm seeing now, like,
for people to still be friends with people that they've known since childhood, because a lot of times you grow up and you grow apart. And I had this discussion with my kids as they were growing up. You know, because you find out with your kids' friends that not everyone's parents do the things that you do for your kids or with your kids, or teach them the things that you teach your kids, and the success you want your kids to have. And they had to learn that even though you grow apart from people that you've known since you were like 5, 6 years old, it's okay.
Yes.
You'll eventually meet people who are more in line with your goals once you become an adult and you start to like get into real life stuff. But luckily, my kids both have friends that they've had since they were very young, like elementary school.
But that's a testament of who we are.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's been modeled in front of them that the real one's gonna show up. That friend fell off.
Absolutely.
Right.
But the real ones is still here. And it just baffles me that even over the years when we've lost contact, we never really lost contact.
Right.
We were always concerned about each other. And if anything happened, we were on the scene. So that's why I was just like, where is her daggone friends?
Right.
Where is her Gebe?
y'all are my kids' aunts. Like they know y'all
Right.
when
That's
I,
how my.
what I mean? So it's kind of like to not have you in my life. You know, Jeanette asked me every day, you talk to the court today? Of course I talk to the court today. Like it's just a basic thing that happens. So when I don't talk to the court, where's the court? Like, where's everybody? So it's almost a standard, like a cup of coffee that I got to talk to some of y'all,
Absolutely.
all of y'all, or one of y'all every day.
Every day.
Mhm.
Every day.
And
I
if we're
pray
not hearing from each other,
Prayer.
every day, and I
we start
pray.
every day with prayer.
It's
Right.
just a part of what my life is, and not to
Yes.
have it would be unusual versus
Yes.
having it being unusual.
Right.
Because
That's
it's
what
Yes.
healthy for us to have these kinds of relationships, regardless of other relationships we have in our lives. And, you know, like Courtney and Ann is married. So they have a husband, they have their families and stuff. But this is healthy because it gets us all away from all that.
right.
Yes.
From work,
Yes.
household responsibilities, all that stuff. We can get together and discuss all of that and dump on each other and not feel like, I don't feel like listening to it. Like, you know, we just kind of, we pick up when one of us is down,
Right.
Yes.
pick it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's just what we do for each other.
And we're
Right.
not a burden to each other. And
Right.
that's why I'm so baffled at this whole situation, that there is not one friend. Like, I'm just like, where is her Laura? Like, where's her Neat? Where's her Gigi?
And
Where's
that's
her
what makes
Ian?
me sad. You know,
Right.
is that there is nobody. Like,
Right.
you don't have anybody in your corner,
Right.
you know, like that will advocate and fight hard for you. That's the
There's
sad
so
part.
many people like that, though. There's so
Mhm.
many
Who don't have
people who
anybody in
don't
their corner.
have people. Yeah,
Wow. That's sad.
So we're blessed
it is.
to be able to even just have the genuineness in our friendship that we do have, you know,
Mhm.
that we're blessed. We've gone through a lot together, you know,
Yeah.
separately, individually, and together as a core. We've supported each other through a lot together over the
Mhm.
last 40 years. So again, for like us, we're just siblings. Like Laura said, you know, my kids, they got Aunt Laura, Aunt Trey, Aunt Eve. Like
Yeah.
there's
Right.
they don't know how to address y'all as anything else,
Mhm.
but
And they
they're
did
aunts.
not, because they get busted in the
Yeah,
eye.
so
No.
bust them right on up, every last one of them.
Oh, we can still fight.
Yes,
Right.
we sure
You can't
can.
fight.
So thank y'all so much for coming on again, because, you know, online is like my life. Like, and anytime I ask y'all to show up and all my shenanigans, and I've had some shenanigans, and all my shenanigans, y'all have always been there, even to draw me in, and even to just be like, all right, you're doing too much. But I appreciate the level of honesty that we can have with each other without the consequence of not being friends. I know
Yes.
I can
Right.
say what I need to say to y'all, and y'all know y'all can
Yes.
say what y'all need to say to me. And we might be mad for a couple of days. We might have our lips poked out, and we
That's-
might stomp our feet. But we gonna be taught like, okay, you in the group chat, like what?
Right.
Right. But
Yeah.
we also know how to agree to disagree,
Right.
Yes.
because we are still 5 individuals and we will not always agree on everything.
Right.
Right.
We're not yes men to each other.
And it's okay. Exactly.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
it right there. We're not.
We are not yes men to each other. We hold each other accountable. We ain't gonna yes nobody to death in this group.
We never had,
No.
never will.
If we see you doing something off, we're gonna be like, excuse me, this
Right.
doesn't sound right, or you know, this don't seem right. What are you thinking?
Right. Take that down. Like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
No.
So I thank y'all for that level of accountability and friendship that I could be. And I could say anything to y'all. I could tell y'all anything about my life and not feel like I'm going to be judged at the end of it.
No, but you
Right.
know what? You could say to me simply, just pray for me, and just know if I'm not praying for you right then and there, I already prayed for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's always going to be every day that I breathe, that I'm covering you all in when I have a conversation with God. So
Yes.
for me, that there's no day that I won't do that.
Yes.
So I can't imagine not talking to you or not having you in my life. That just is not going to happen.
That's
Right.
our prayer warrior, everybody.
I was going to say, she the pastor of the group.
Yeah, that's our prayer warrior.
Everybody got
Everybody got
something of the group.
Everybody got
Yeah.
a role. Yes, everybody got
Yes.
a role. We got clowns. We got
Mhm.
lawyers. We
It's
got
a bunch of
marriage.
us are
We got marriage counselors.
We got private investigators.
We got private investigators.
Yes.
Who
We got
breaks
teachers.
out in song. She just starts singing.
Everybody got a role.
Yes. We got teachers. We got media experts. We got everything that we go to each other for, and sometimes it's separate conversations.
Yes.
And we don't have a problem with jealousy amongst us.
Right.
To say, if me and Gibi go out, it's not a problem. Like, oh, they went out and didn't tell me. Or if Laura and Gibi go out, or if me and Neat having a conversation, it's like, oh, you didn't include me. Like, we go to each other for different stuff and collectively, and that's the beauty of our relationships. Like, we don't see each other online and be like, oh, Trey went out with Ann.
Right.
No, it's like,
Wow,
oh,
yeah.
you had fun? Where the pictures
You
at?
say something.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Minutes watching that damn video.
Oh Lord, I know.
What
Yeah.
What video?
Ann started
The
singing.
percolator.
No, Ann started singing for her own birthday. I was like,
Oh.
doing? You ain't gonna let me sing? Like, I'm supposed to be singing. She just went into song. I was like, out in song.
And
But
loud in
I'm
the
not gonna
song.
hold this any longer. I just wanted to have this conversation so that people would know, one, just get your papers in order. Like,
Yes.
the lesson here is, if you don't have somebody that can speak for you when you can't speak for yourself, we should all have something in order that says, this is the person that speaks for me. Two, you should have at least one close friend that knows that I would never tell nobody to cut you off.
Mhm.
I don't care if it's my husband. If he come to you and say, Trey don't want to see you, that you would say, you a damn lie. You
right.
You go in the door, I'm coming with the police.
Mhm.
I need a wellness check if you talking about she don't want the court to come over.
Right.
Right.
Don't
And
believe.
I got all the receipts.
Don't believe
Yes.
it.
All of them.
All of them. Like, she would never.
I don't ever delete text messages.
You know what?
Right.
Ever.
Hang up. I'm gonna text y'all that very thing so y'all have it in your phone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Believe that I'm not gonna try to see you or that you can't see me.
Right.
Yes.
Ever.
Right.
Yes.
Don't
You're
ever
gonna agree
think
to that in writing as soon as we hang up.
Soon as we
Yes,
hang-
we're gonna text that to each other as soon as we hang up, that I would never not want you to come see me, and I would never not come see you. If somebody tell me that I can't see one of y'all, I promise you I won't give up until I get in the house and I see and make sure you okay. I promise you. If I got to go through the police, if I got to get a lawyer, a private investigator, I'm gonna get into the house wherever you at. I need to know where she is. Nobody's gonna ever hide y'all from me to where I don't know where one of y'all is. That's bananas.
Yep.
Yeah. Ludicrous.
None of y'all. I'm gonna be like, I need to get a private investigator because I need to know where Laura is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if she's with Buddy. She still would text us and say, "I'm with Buddy. We going away for a week, so don't be worried because we're going away for vacation, and I'm gonna put my phone down."
But if I don't have peeking through the windows and setting off the alarm systems because I'm looking.
Girl, climbing up on ladders, climbing through windows,
trying to squeeze through the little bathroom window. You know the bathroom window don't be big.
I'm coming through the basement. I'm stalking when the cars come out the driveway. I'm gonna block the driveway. You got to get past me to come out the driveway. Call the police.
Yep.
Call the police. I need a wellness check. I need to see my girl face. I need her to come to this door and tell me, Trey, I don't want to see you. I need her.
Exactly.
And if she do that, the police could just escort me off the property. But other than that, no. And that's
because even if you heard it from my mouth, girl, something wrong with you. Go
sit down. Girl, yeah. Somebody drugged you.
Even
what
if
is
you do something
on?
like, girl, be quiet.
I'm not believing
She'll
that.
mean that.
Yeah.
She in her right mind today.
Dementia.
I got it in writing. She said I could
got
come.
it in writing, officer. Look, officer, this is from her.
Yep.
I don't know what y'all talking about. So
February 26th at 9:40 p.m.
This is what she sent me.
Yep.
And she would never want to see me. So get her husband out here. Get them kids. Somebody.
He be the lawyer gonna be standing right there. That is evidence and we going to court and we got it in writing. So no.
We taking her with us. Come on, get in the car. Get in the car.
Mhm.
Blink twice. He got you.
Mhm.
Oh my God. He pulling your hair. He got you by your hair. No.
Blink twice if you need help.
But really, on a serious note,
Yes.
every woman that's looking, check on your girlfriends. Check if you had a friend that was from high school, Wendy's friends. I'm talking to Wendy's friends right now. If y'all were friends with her from grade school, high school, go check on your girl. If you really loved her at this point, no matter what she put you through her addiction, no matter what, go check on her now because she needs you.
Please.
She needs you. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. We love y'all. If this was helpful to you, please follow us on, look at Lulu. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Trey Kearney because they might, they don't be doing all of this, but this is on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. And these are my good girlfriends who are always going to be in my life. And if you have some good girlfriends, add a comment on our YouTube channel to just say thank you and just say, I'm going to check on my good girlfriends today. And we would appreciate that. So
yes,
love y'all. I love y'all.
Love y'all.
We love you.
Love y'all.
Thank you so much
Love
for coming
y'all.
on here, ladies. And I'll see y'all soon. I'll see y'all in the chat in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll be chatting in 2 minutes.
I'll just stay right there for a second. But good night, everybody. We love y'all. And again, Wendy, we are praying for you. We are praying to heaven that you will be healed, whole, happy, healthy again, and that the right people will come around you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.